Cruise ships can have up to 30 different dining venues, which means so many options to get wrong. So it's not surprising I see many cruisers making mistakes that leave them missing out on the best food, wasting money, stuck with mediocre meals, all while smart cruisers are having unforgettable ones and not paying a penny more. Welcome aboard, I'm Gary Bembridge, and after going on 120 ocean cruises and trying almost every dining option there is at sea, I've seen what smart cruisers always do and what they never do when it comes to dining, and I'm here to share that with you. Let's start with some smart dining basic do's and don'ts. Do find out what all the dining venues available to you are before you go and when they're open. Smart cruisers use that to then plan their overall dining experience on their cruise. Also check which are included in your fare and those you pay extra for. Don't make assumptions. For example, just this week, I got a message from a first-time cruiser who only realized halfway through his cruise that the main dining room was actually included because he thought only the buffet was. Cruise lines have a variety of included dining venues, and that can and does change. For example, in the past on Princess cruises, some casual dining venues like Alfredo Pizza was included in the fare, but then they changed it to being charged for but free to go just once to those on a Princess Plus package and unlimited times if on a Princess Premier package. But then they changed it all again to be able to go 3 times on a Princess Plus package. So keep checking. Smart cruisers also do go and visit all the dining venues on embarkation day to confirm which they want to go to, check menus, discuss dietary issues with the maitre d'. It helps them plan a good mix of casual, formal, buffet and specialty dining so they don't get stuck in one place or miss out on any hidden gems. Another smart thing to do is review menus for the restaurants in advance. Now these days, most cruise line websites have sample or recent menus, but once you're on board, they're normally available outside the venue and usually on the cruise app too. I and other smart cruisers always check the main dining room menus each day to see if it appeals, to decide should I go there or choose somewhere else that evening. Another thing to do is know the dining schedule because that helps you plan. Now most people go for dinner at the same peak times, leading to waits and slower service. But by knowing the opening times, I tend to go and then I get a table that I really want, I get much better service and the food comes a little bit quicker. Other smart cruisers go later when things have got much quieter. Another dining basic that smart cruisers do is not be shy about asking to customize their orders or even ask for things that may be slightly off menu. Many cruise lines will allow off menu tweaks ranging from extra vegetables, sauce on the side, or small portions of main courses, appetizers as mains, and occasionally even specific off menu dishes. There are 3 general dining do-nots that smart cruisers swear by too. First, they do not leave booking of restaurants to the last minute or until they're on board. They do these as soon as they're open online. If you wait until you're on board, you'll find the best days and times are often booked out. I'm just about to go on a cruise and booking for dining opened 60 days before the trip. But even going in the day after it opened, many of the best slots had already gone. Secondly, smart cruisers do not only eat on the ship, but they also always try local cuisine in the ports, usually of course for lunch. And third, they don't take food off the ship into the ports because these days most ports ban this because of the various health and contamination risks. Let's move on and talk about some smart dining tips by each of the main options, starting with the main dining room. Main dining room arrangements and options have got more complicated, so smart cruisers make sure they really understand the exact main dining room setups before even booking the cruise. Why? Because different cruise lines have different setups to other lines, and sometimes it even differs by ships within their fleet. Most mainstream and premium lines will offer fixed dining, so early or late, and then an anytime dining option. If you want to have the same waiting staff, the same table, you need to go for fixed dining. If you want flexibility, go for anytime. But on some lines like Celebrity, it gets more complicated because while they have that on their Millennium and Solstice class fleet, on Edge class ships, they don't have that. They have 4 main dining rooms that you can rotate around. And then on top of that, they also have grade-based dining options. So those in aqua cabins eat in the Blue restaurant, and those in suites in the Lumini restaurant. So always check the details as you book the cruise, because I often get messages from people who found themselves locked into a main dining room setup that doesn't suit their preferences by not checking when booking. For example, they wanted flexibility, but they found themselves in fixed dining, or they wanted early dining, but they're in late dining. Smart cruises have specific dietary needs. Talk to and make a friend of the maitre d'. They can then ensure that you get the right food for your restrictions. In fact, smart cruises with strict dietary requirements eat as much as possible in the main dining room and often go for fixed dining, because the maitre d' and waiters can then really focus and ensure that their needs are met consistently. If you have dietary issues, approach the buffet and casual dining, in my view, with much more caution. And as I mentioned earlier, another thing that smart cruises do in the main dining room is sometimes mix up the menu and order multiple starters, multiple mains, desserts, extra things, often for no charge, or they might ask for smaller or larger portions of the different setups. Let's talk now about smart buffet do's and don'ts. One of the smart things to do, as I discovered, is check if the buffet is open for all meals. It is not on all lines. For example, on a recent Disney Magic cruise, there was no buffet option for dinner. On the ultra-luxury lines like Regent Seven Seas I went on at Christmas, the buffet restaurant becomes a waiter-served Italian restaurant at night. There's no buffet. The second thing that smart cruises do is plan the best time to go to the buffet and work around avoiding peak times. Now, I personally avoid the buffet on embarkation day because it just gets too busy and a little bit manic. It also gets manic for breakfast the hour or so before excursion meeting times, and again around 12:30 to 1:30 when morning excursions return. It's hard to get a table, there's lots of queuing, and it's not a very peaceful dining experience at these times. A smart thing to do is to use the buffet in areas of scenic sailing as well, like the Norwegian fjords or parts of Alaska, because the buffet usually has floor-to-ceiling windows and outside seating areas, unlike the main dining rooms, which are often enclosed with no sea views. Smart cruises also focus on the made-to-order stations, like eggs cooked to order or pasta or salad making stations, and they focus on those over the food lying on the counters because it's going to be freshest, where the other stuff has been sitting for a while. Two other smart do's are, first, using the buffet when you're in more of a rush. You can be in and out of a buffet in 15 to 30 minutes versus the long hour and a half or more you can be in the main dining room. And second is to use it on formal or dress-up nights when you don't want to get all dolled up in your finery. One thing smart cruisers do not do when it comes to the buffet is skip washing their hands before and after using it. The buffet is one of the highest risk places for catching things like the stomach bug norovirus. They also, for this reason, do not pick food up and put it back, dip fingers in sauces or food to taste it, and even use packets of sauce versus the bottles if possible to minimize touching multi-use surfaces and sauce bottles. What about smart specialty dining do's and don'ts? The most critical thing smart cruises do when it comes to specialty dining is book way in advance online as soon as it opens. Don't wait until you get on board to ensure you get the dates and times that you want. The second big do for specialty dining is look for deals. Now, the main ones that smart cruises look out for are embarkation day offers, often half price to eat in them that day, lunchtime discounts, and if based on loyalty status or cabin grade, there are actually discounted or free specialty dining included. They often are. Cruises that plan to do a lot of specialty dining also look if the line offers any packages, as they can save quite a lot of money than paying per visit. Also check if there are limits on how often you can go. For example, on that Disney Magic cruise I mentioned, we could only go to Paolo, the adult-only specialty restaurant, once during the cruise. Smart cruises, though, are friendly and keep in touch with the maitre d' or the bookings person, because they will often offer repeat visits to selected guests on the quiet in limited restaurants when slots open. That certainly worked for me on that Disney and many other cruises. But don't assume, by the way, that all specialty dining is always better than the included options. It's a large upcharge, but you may be able to get some of those dishes in the main dining room included within your fare. What about the casual dining venues like burgers and hot dogs? What are those do's and don'ts? As mentioned, do check what casual dining is and is not included. As I said, on some lines like Princess, there is a charge for some unless you have a package and so on. I have found casual dining options on the pool deck though tend to be included. So on Princess I could get burgers, hot dogs, tacos, and even some basic pizza that was included in the fare at those venues up on the pool deck. And I also find that those casual spots can be really great for mixing things up, pizza, burgers, tacos, because they're quick, but importantly, they're often available outside the main meal times if you need something to eat. Which brings me to room service. When it comes to room service, do always check the small print. Not all cruise lines offer free room service, and on some lines they only charge if you're in certain cabin grades, with only suites getting it included or as part of a premium package that you may have bought. For example, a while ago, Cunard stopped having room service free for Britannia grade guests after 10 a.m. in the morning and introduced charges for it, but it stayed free for suite guests. I do see room service as being able to add to the cruise experience, like breakfast before an excursion to avoid the busy buffet, or on lines who offer a full afternoon tea on room service. One of the biggest don'ts, which may be more a bugbear of mine, is don't leave your tray in the hallway cluttering it up. Phone room service and get them to remove it. If you want to know much more about how to manage the main dining room and the buffet, join me over in this playlist where I dive in 2 videos into each of those in much more detail. See you over there.